So, quick question.
Why do you sound like someone just checked your browser history?
We dropped episode 1 of the CIA project's ARC, Project Looking Glass, Time Manipulation, Future Timelines.
And then we disappear,
Just gone.
which statistically looks sketchy.
Not saying anything happened.
But if something had happened, this is exactly what it would look like.
Anyway, enough about our disappearance. We're back, and this is a shorter episode.
Tighter, more focused.
Still unhinged.
And before we open the classified filing cabinet, let's take a Patreon moment.
We're on episode 2 of Conspiracies Around the World.
Portugal as the main character.
Explorers, secrets.
And the Templars. We go deeper, banks, symbols, and the strong feeling they never actually left.
We also dropped a one-time open episode where we explain what we're talking about.
And we recap the news we missed from May 2025. Not the distraction stuff.
Tech breakthroughs, medical advances.
You call it progress.
She calls it the beginning of the end.
History is on my side.
So, if our disappearance wasn't suspicious before,
It definitely is now.
this is Mindzilla.
Let's get weird.
Alright, if you're just joining us, this is episode 2 in our CIA project.
Last time, we talked about Project Looking Glass, alleged time-bending tech, future timelines, and why governments might be very interested in seeing what's coming next.
This week, we're keeping it shorter, but not lighter.
Because today isn't about what if.
It's about what actually happened and what might have happened next.
We're breaking this episode into 3 projects.
First, Project Stargate.
A real declassified CIA and military program where psychic spying wasn't a joke. It was a line item in the budget.
Then, Project Pegasus.
Alleged time travel, teleportation, and children used as test subjects. No paperwork, just whistleblowers, trauma, and a story that refuses to die.
And finally, Project Serpo.
An alleged alien exchange program, or one of the most successful disinformation experiments ever run.
As we go, we're separating documents from testimony, evidence from belief.
And accidents from intention.
We're not here to tell you what to believe,
We're here to show you the terrain.
because sometimes the conspiracy isn't the aliens, it's the story. Alright, buckle in.
Let's start with the one we can prove existed.
Project Stargate.
Right. Before anyone starts screaming, this is just sci-fi nonsense, we need to be really clear about something.
I haven't screamed yet.
Stargate was real.
Oh no.
Not a rumor, not a conspiracy blog, a real taxpayer-funded intelligence program that ran from 1972 to 1995.
So, 23 years.
23 years of the CIA, the DIA, and the US Army seriously investigating psychic spying.
Point does someone go, guys, maybe we're the weird ones?
They didn't. They doubled down.
Of course they did.
It started at the Stanford Research Institute, SRI, not a crystal shop, a legit research facility.
Already annoyed.
Run by 2 physicists, Russell Targ and Harold Puthoff.
Physicists.
Yep, not psychics, science lads, and they pitched something called remote viewing.
Which is...
Sitting in a room, no information, no clues, physically describing a distant location, object, or event.
So, Google Maps, but vibes.
Exactly. And the CIA heard that and said, can we weaponize it? The program eventually moved to Fort Meade, Maryland, under Army intelligence.
Of course I did.
And this is where the characters get incredible.
I'm listening.
Leading the charge, Ingo Swann, the godfather of remote viewing.
That's a superhero name.
He helped design the protocols, blind targets, controls, structured sessions.
So they tried to make it scientific.
They really did.
Respectfully, this is wild.
Then there is Pat Price, former cop, also a Scientologist.
Ah, there it is.
He produced sketches of Soviet facilities so accurate that intelligence analysts freaked out.
Freaked out like, this is impressive?
Or how the hell did he know that?
Okay, but did it actually work?
Sometimes, and that's the problem.
Oh no.
There's a famous case from 1982. An Italian terrorist group kidnaps Brigadier General James Dozier.
Bad day.
A remote viewer is asked cold where he is being held. They described a cold underground room, metal door, faint voices. He was found in a cold basement.
Okay, that's uncomfortable.
The CIA called it a hit.
I feel like there's a catch.
Oh, there is.
Here we go.
May 22nd, 1984, a viewer is asked to remote view Mars.
Why?
Not just Mars,
Why?
Mars 1 million years BC. The viewer describes tall beings, pyramids, underground structures.
Ancient aliens bingo.
And that transcript declassified on the CIA website.
So HR signed off on this.
They absolutely did.
So why didn't this become standard spycraft?
Because for every it, there were 10 vague messages. By the 90s, the CIA brings in outside reviewers.
The auditors of weird?
Exactly. Ray Hyman, hardcore skeptic, says the science is flawed. Sensory leakage, no replication.
And the other side?
Jessica Hutz, statistician, says results are slightly above chance, like 5 to 15%,
So not nothing.
but not reliable enough to bet a war on. By 1995, Stargate is shut down.
After spending how much?
About $20 million.
Honestly, that's cheaper than I expected.
Same.
But what did we learn?
That psychic warfare is real enough to be funded, but too messy to control.
So the CIA tried to read minds.
And what they learned instead is that uncertainty is dangerous and addictive.
So that's the proven one.
Yep, that's the solid ground.
And now?
Now we leave the documents and follow the whistleblowers.
Oh no.
Okay, deep breath. Because this is where the paperwork stops. Everything you're about to hear next comes from whistleblowers, not documents.
So vibes.
Incredibly sounding vibes, romantic vibes, and stories that have stayed weirdly consistent for decades.
Which is somehow worse.
Project Pegasus is alleged to have run between 1968 and 1972 under DARPA.
Of course it was DARPA. I'm sure at some point you're going to drag me down that messy rabbit hole.
The claim that the US government cracked teleportation and time travel using technology inspired by Nikola Tesla.
Every conspiracy eventually drags Tesla out like Weekend at Bernie's.
And that they tested it on.
Please don't say kids.
It was definitely kids.
Why is it always children?
The main whistleblower is Andrew Basiago.
What's his deal?
In 2004, he comes forward claiming that between ages 7 and 12, he was a part of a group of around 140 chrononaut kids.
I was eating glue at 7.
He says children were used because their bodies handled time-space stress better.
This is deeply unsettling.
Asiago describes something called a plasma confinement chamber.
Sounds safe.
2 large metal booms, about 8 feet tall, 10 feet apart.
And in between?
A shimmering curtain of radiant energy.
I hate that already.
Step through it, and you're alleged portaled into another time or location.
So a government-built Doctor Who doorway,
Exactly. Plus something called the chronovisor,
which is...
a device that could allegedly view past or future events without physical travel,
So DARPA invented Netflix for history.
and was cancelled after the pilot.
Okay, what does he say he actually did?
He claims to have made 6 jumps to Gettysburg, 1863, and Ford's Theater, 1865, the night Lincoln was assassinated. He even says there are photographs where he appears in a crowd.
Have we seen him?
Blurry, debated, very inconclusive.
Of course. Please tell me this doesn't go to Mars.
It goes to Mars.
I knew it.
Basiago claims he was teleported to Mars where a secret US base already existed.
Casual.
He says he went with William Stillings and possibly a young Barack Obama, then known as Barry Soetoro.
Jess,
I know.
that sentence is doing crimes.
According to Basiago, Mars wasn't empty. He describes humanoid scorpion-like beings around 8 feet tall and dinosaur-like creatures in the distance.
I want off this ride.
Here's where it gets darker.
Oh, good.
Fred Weber claims that during one teleportation attempt,
No,
only the legs of a child arrived, which introduces the idea that this tech, if real, was unstable.
teleportation, 50% success rate, 100% trauma. So who supposedly signed off on this?
Basiago claims oversight from figures like Donald Rumsfeld under Nixon.
That tracks disturbingly well.
He also claims the program identified future presidents in advance.
Oh no.
Carter, Clinton, Bush Sr., Bush Jr., Obama, Trump, Biden.
So DARPA is America's psychic HR department.
Apparently. Then there is Laura Magdalene Eisenhower.
Related to...
The Eisenhower, great-granddaughter.
Oh dear.
She claims she was recruited in 2006 for a secret Mars colony.
Why does Mars have better recruitment than most startups?
She says it involved Freemasons, Knights Templars, and exotic ET alliances.
Of course it did.
She claims she rejected the offer using remote viewing tech and then fled after Black Op threats.
Why do people still believe this?
Because the stories are consistent, because trauma shapes memory, and because governments actually have used children in unethical experiments before.
So Pegasus lives in that uncomfortable grey zone.
Exactly. Alright, before anyone rage quits or fully books a one-way ticket to Mars, let's slow it down.
Thank you. My nervous system needs structure.
This is where we introduce the Mindzilla credibility meter.
Because not all conspiracies are built the same.
Exactly. So let's do these official documents.
0.
The classified files.
None.
Paper trails.
Ghost town.
Score 0 out of 5. Whistleblowers.
Yes, but mainly one dominant voice.
Consistency over time.
Surprisingly high.
Independent corroboration.
Thin but overlapping narratives exist.
Score 2.5 out of 5. Could children be used in secret experiments during the Cold War?
Historically, unfortunately, yes.
Could trauma distort or intensify memory?
Absolutely.
Does this explain long-term conviction without proof?
It does.
Score 3 out of 5. Teleportation?
No.
Time travel?
Also no.
Tesla? Blueprints secretly doing all this?
Stop dragging Tesla into this.
You're no fun. Score 1 out of 5. Financial incentive.
Minimal.
Fame.
Moderate but delayed.
Government motive to lie or obscure.
Very high.
Score 3.5 out of 5. Total score for Project Pegasus.
10 out of 25.
Not credible enough to believe outright.
But not flimsy enough to dismiss completely.
It lives in a grey zone.
where conspiracies either die.
Or mutate.
So Stargate had documents,
Pegasus had testimony.
and Serpo.
Serpo might be the conspiracy that was designed to exist. Project Serpo is where things stop being just weird and start being strategically weird.
That doesn't sound reassuring.
Project Serpo is one of those stories that lives halfway between science fiction and a government-sponsored social experiment and belief.
Oh, good. So we're playing with both ends of that spectrum.
So, according to the most circulated version, Serpo was a secret exchange program between the US government and an alien planet in the Zeta Reticuli star system.
That's the same star system tied to the Betty and Barney Hill abduction stories, right?
Yeah. The claim is that after UFO crashes in 1947, the US made contact with an alien race called the Ebens. Eventually, the deal was this: 12 Americans would visit Serpo, 37 light years away, for a 10-year exchange.
And only 8 came back. That's the claim. 2 died on Serpo and 2 allegedly stayed.
According to Liquid Search, one wild part is the environment: a planet with 2 suns, high radiation, a weird day and night cycle, and bizarre alien physiology.
So, in the story, humans adapt, get sick, and die early, like extreme cosmic tourists with zero travel insurance. That's the answer, though, but here's where reality check starts.
Unlike Stargate, there are 0 official documents, no declassified files, no photos, no spacecraft logs, nothing physical.
Sounds drivable, but the engine's missing.
Exactly. All of this stems from a set of anonymous emails sent to a UFO mailing list in 2005 by someone calling themselves Request Anonymous.
Okay, so like an early 2000 Reddit post, but even older.
According to UFO logs, here's the real twist. One of the key alleged sources tied to Serpo is Richard C. Dotsey. It was a real Air Force Office of Special Investigations, AFOSI for short, agent who's been documented repeatedly feeding UFO researchers false leads, especially in the Paul Benowitz case, which skewed that guy's life. Internet folklore and documentaries like Mirage Man portray Doty as someone who planted disinformation on purpose, and critics point out that his involvement severely undermines credibility.
So the guy most associated with Serpo literally has a documented track record of making stuff up as part of his job.
Pretty much. Skeptics argue this means Serpo might be a deliberate disinfo campaign, maybe even created to distract from actual secret programs. Mainstream scientists and UFO researchers alike are almost unanimous. There is no credible evidence for Serpo, no logs, no astronaut manifests, no hardware, just forums and enthusiast sites.
No evidence? Sounds kinda serious.
It is. Critics also point out scientific issues, like how an Earth-like planet could orbit widely separated binary systems, which doesn't match our understanding of stable orbits. Here's where the disinformation analysis gets juicy.
Boy.
Some researchers propose that Serpo isn't just random UFO fantasy. It might be a design narrative machine plausible enough to hook believers, structured enough to spread, but impossible to verify. As reported on the site exopoliticssouthafrica.org, there's even speculation that the entire lakes were seeded to study how such stories propagate and how people react to them.
So it's not just about aliens, it's about testing the ecosystem of belief.
Exactly. A story that's part sci-fi epic, part classic UFO lore, and part internet mythcraft. That's a powerful combination for mimetics. Stuff that spreads because it feels good to share, not because it's grounded in evidence. Here's the truth on Serpo. Evidence non-verified, sources anonymous, dubious, potentially tied to a known disinformation agent. Scientific plausibility is very low. Persistence is high. The story persists because it plays well in the imagination.
So it's basically the ultimate UFO fanfic that refuses to go away.
Or the perfect psyop, good enough to generate meaningful debate, but never good enough to be proven.
Kind of like asking whether art is real, but if the art secretly worked us over.
Okay, Elman's on. This is where we stop vibing and start measuring.
I've emotionally prepared myself for disappointment.
Good, because Serpo doesn't need belief, it needs analysis. Physical evidence,
None?
documents,
Nope.
photos, logs, flights manifests, medical records, astronaut names.
Jess, there's not even a fake document.
Everything we have comes from anonymous emails sent to a UFO mailing list in 2005.
Which is not how interstellar diplomacy usually leaks.
Score 0 out of 5. Let's be generous.
I don't like where this is going.
Binary star systems can theoretically host planets,
True.
but Zeta Reticuli A and B are widely separated.
So stable Earth-like orbits extremely unlikely.
Human survival on high radiation alien biosphere for 10 years.
Without advanced protection? No.
Interstellar travel with zero detectable propulsion breakthroughs on Earth.
Also no.
Score 1 out of 5. How many name verifiable witnesses?
0.
How many anonymous insiders?
Several, all untraceable.
And the shadow looming over this?
Richard Doty.
A documented AFOSI disinformation agent.
Who has openly admitted to feeding false UFO narratives.
That doesn't automatically make Serpo fake.
But it nukes its credibility.
Score 1.5 out of 5. Now this is where it gets interesting.
Oh no.
Serpo has all the hallmarks of designed disinformation.
Go on.
It's unverifiable.
Check.
It borrows credibility from existing UFO lore, Roswell, Zeta Reticuli, Cold War secrecy.
Check.
It's complex enough to feel researched.
But vague enough to collapse under scrutiny.
And spreads perfectly in online communities.
Like a mimetic virus.
If Serpo were designed to muddy waters, distract researchers, or test belief propagation,
it's a masterpiece.
This info effectiveness score 4.5 out of 5. Why would someone invent Serpo, do you think?
To distract from real classified programs.
And to discredit UFO research by flooding it with nonsense.
It also been to study how fast a narrative spreads.
Or just to see who believes what.
Motive exists strongly.
Score 4 out of 5. Let's total it. Evidence 0, plausibility 1, testimony 1.5, disinfo profile 4.5, motive 4. That gives Project Serpo a 11 out of 25.
Which is bad.
As a real alien exchange?
Absolutely.
But as a case study in engineer belief?
Disturbingly successful.
Serpo doesn't convince me aliens took humans to another star system. But it does convince me someone wanted this story out there, and that's scarier.
Because it means the experiment wasn't about aliens, it was about us.
Alright, we've thrown a lot at you.
Psychic spies, time travel kids, interstellar exchange students.
And if you're feeling mentally jet-lagged, good. That's the point. Because on the surface, Stargate, Pegasus, and Serpo feel completely different.
One psychic,
One's temporal,
and one straight up sci-fi.
but when you zoom out, they're actually part of the same ecosystem.
Which is?
The Cold War obsession with information dominance. Stargate was the government saying, we don't know if this works, but we can't afford not to try.
And crucially, they wrote it down.
Budgets, reports, oversight.
Which means it was real even if the results were questionable.
Stargate proves the US government will explore the fringes if there is even a chance of advantage. Pegasus strips the paperwork away.
All we're left with is testimony.
And not random testimony. Consistent, emotionally charged, long-term testimony.
But zero verification.
Pegasus lives in a space where trauma, secrecy, and belief collide.
Not provable, but not nothing.
And then there is Serpo.
Which feels almost too neat.
Because Serpo might not be about aliens at all.
It might be about us.
Our narrative spreads, our authority is implied, our belief fills gaps where evidence doesn't exist.
Serpo doesn't need to be true to be effective.
Here's the pattern.
Oh no.
Stargate, real program, real documents, fringe methods. Pegasus, real people, real belief, no documents. Serpo, no documents, no people, just narrative.
So the further we go, the less evidence we get, but the stronger the story becomes.
The real conspiracy isn't psychic spies or time travel.
It's how power interacts with belief.
How governments explore the edges of possibility and sometimes let stories run wild to protect the center, whether through experimentation, negligence, or deliberate disinformation. Beliefs becomes a tool.
So what are we meant to take from all of this?
The truth isn't binary.
Neither is bullshit.
Some things are real but ineffective. Some things are fake but powerful. And some things are designed not to be believed.
Just discussed.
And speaking of things designed to be discussed, after psychic warfare, time jumping, children, and alien exchange programs,
We're all emotionally fragile.
we're done with psyops.
Thank Christ.
No more black budgets.
I feel safer already.
Next week we have Bigfoot.
No.
No CIA.
Good.
No mimetic disinformation campaigns.
Even better.
Just a 7-foot fur-covered problem walking out of the woods. Because Bigfoot isn't about intelligence agencies.
It's about feelings.
It's about folklore.
Grainy footage.
And a suspicious number of footprints that stop mid-trail, which is either a cryptid or interdimensional nonsense.
Hate that those are the options.
FBI files.
Real ones.
DNA evidence that keeps getting misplaced.
Classic Bigfoot move.
Indigenous oral history.
Which is actually compelling.
And theories that suggest Bigfoot isn't hiding.
He's phasing.
Mind-speaking forest giants.
You've ruined hiking for me.
So that's next week.
From psyops to paw prints.
From black sites to forest vibes.
And from CIA timelines
to Bigfoots. And if this episode scrambled your brain in the best way,
there's more.
Over on Patreon, we're deep into conspiracies around the world. Episode 2 is live, with Portugal as the main character.
Templars, power plays, secrets that definitely didn't stay buried.
We've also dropped a bonus news recap last week, tech, medicine, and breakthroughs we missed while we were mysteriously absent.
And no, it's not the mainstream fluff.
It's the stuff that actually changes how the world works.
So if you want extra episodes, less filtering, and more unhinged curiosity,
hit patreon.com/Mindzilla and support your favorite paranormal couple in podcasting prime.
We promise nothing.
Except chaos. Sleep tight.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.